Good morning, watch nerds. First of all, a big thank you to Ivan, who is the owner of Vario, as he kindly sent me this to review. I do have to send it back though, so this review is in no way sponsored. As you may well be aware, Vario are famed for their high quality straps, but later went into designing watches which I believe are manufactured in Japan, but I may be wrong. Just for a change though, their designs are based on watches of old, this one being a pilot's watch from the earliest 20th century. In actual fact, the story goes that the original watches were converted from pocket watches with wire lugs attached. This is the reason why the indices are set at an angle. It's because the pilot could easily read the time whilst holding the plane's yoke, which is basically a steering wheel. Now I should make an apology. This watch has got a large dome sapphire crystal, and set against this black dial there are an awful lot of reflections. I guess a little bit more AR coating would be nice. So just a warning, expect to see some images from the surrounding area whilst I'm filming this, and at worst, some glimpses of my bald head. And welcome to my unpaid and unsponsored review of the Vario 1918 pilot's watch. Well, the watch came in this canvas watch roll. I generally don't know if it comes in another box, but I'm sure this will do the job anyway. And inside is a 2-year warranty. So as usual, let's start with the dimensions. Now the case is 40mm, the lug width is 20mm and the lug to lug is 48mm. But you must remember these wired lugs give a bit of a false measurement, if you know what I mean. Now the depth, excluding the very dome sapphire crystal, was a little over 10mm. But if you include the crystal, it's about 12.3mm. If you include the depth from the bund strap as well though, it's around 15mm, so that's worth taking into account. Now on this strap it weighs about 78 grams. In my opinion, the watch wears a little larger though, possibly because all you see is the dial. And this is my watch of the day, it's the Steinart Ocean Marine. And I put it on this rather nice dark blue suede strap. Inside is the hand winding and non-hacking Miyota 8N33, which I'm guessing is the non-automatic version of the 821A, but that is just a guess. This allowed the manufacturer to make the case a little bit slimmer than if it were an automatic. Now it's a 3Hz movement that ticks away at 21,600 beats per hour, and if it's like any other movement I've had from Miyota, it'll be reliable, and if regulated correctly, it can be pretty accurate. Now let's see what the time grapher thinks of it. Well, certainly no complaints there. It's got a good beat error, a good amplitude, and look at that rate. The onion style crown is signed, nicely knurled, and very easy to use. It's a push-pull crown as you would expect, and it's placed at the 12 o'clock position, or what would normally be the 1 o'clock position. Now this may sound strange, but it's in keeping with the original watches of the day. Now the watch comes in a choice of 3 colours. I have to be honest though, if I were buying one it would be the white one I'd go for. It's a simple dial and one that's easy to read, especially if you're flying an old plane. The only script is Vario, and that's under the 12. There is a minute track on the outer of the dial, and the indices are large and painted on. The cathedral hands and indices have got green lume, which is a bonus considering this type of watch, but although the initial burst of lume is quite reasonable, the staying power isn't. Anyway, let's have a look at that lume. Like I said when covering the dimensions, although the depth of this watch is only 10mm, when the height of the crystal is included, as well as any relevant strap, it's reasonably deep, although not ridiculously so. Now the fixed bezel is nicely polished and the sides are rounded and satin brushed. This is all done to a more than acceptable standard. As mentioned previously, the lugs are a fixed wire, which is in keeping with the period. As you would have seen when I was taking you through the movement, the case back is of the exhibition variety, which is okay, but considering the fact it will almost indefinitely be on a bund strap or a NATO, it's a bit pointless. The good news is that Vario have given you a sapphire window, something most high street brands don't bother with. In addition to this oiled bunch strap that came with this watch, which by the way is absolutely superb quality, it came with two other options, which I presume isn't the norm. There is this grey leather strap, which cleverly hooks over the lugs. And this bun strap, which I really don't like because it sits quite strangely on the back of the wrist. Undoubtedly though, my choice would be the strap that it came on, especially the camel one in the picture that I showed you earlier. My only complaint would be the length of the strap. Now this will fit a wrist from 6 inches to about 8.5 inches, and whilst I love the versatility, it can leave a fair bit of overhang if your wrist is on the smaller side. Now my wrist is 6.75 inches, and this is what was left dangling. So what do I think of the Vario 1918 pilot's watch, and would I buy one? Well, actually I wouldn't buy one because it's not my cup of tea, although I quite fancy the Medix watch in their lineup. That said, if you do like the style, from a quality and specification point of view, then yes, I'd most definitely suggest you consider it. Now it's easy for me to say, but I think all watch enthusiasts should open their eyes to something different and get out of their comfort zone. Now this may not be a watch for everyday use, but may make a great addition to somebody's collection. Anyway, I've left a link to the Vario site below. That brings me to the end of this review, so if you've enjoyed it, please click on the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave your comments below and enjoy the rest of your day.